Let's go back to your education career, go back from grade school, high school. Talk about all the things you did, clubs,
Okay.
sports that you did. Of course, I know you went to college, and then talk about your teaching career and how you
Okay.
ended up back here in Bristol. And we're glad you
Well,
did.
growing up, I grew up on Greasy Creek, Kentucky, so there's not a lot to do on Greasy Creek, Kentucky. So I was involved in everything: Girl Scouts, brownies, basketball, track, cross country. I bought my own horse. I saved up money and bought my own horse. She wasn't a thoroughbred by any means, but she was mine. And, so I had a horse, I did a horseback ride 4-H, I did everything, and bless my parents' hearts, they mind you, all of those things were free because they were, they're all school related, so none of that stuff cost anything. The most expensive thing was the horse, and she just we had a small farm, so she just grazed on the field, so I was involved in everything. I even my flute that I had was a hand-me-down for somebody in the family. But I did it all, and I stayed busy, and my parents took me to everything, and I my favorite, class was probably English, so guess what I ended up teaching was English, and I taught English and French, which French was probably because my background was my grandmother was Canadian French, so I
Okay.
felt like on my mom's side. In fact, she was raised by nuns. She had an 8th grade education, and she was just the tough little cookie, and raised by nuns in a convent, and was just something else. She was tough, but that's why I think I studied French was for her, because she only spoke French until she went to the convent, and the nuns made her speak more English, but she was something else, Grammy Jeanette.
Oh,
But,
wow.
so studied English and French, mass communications, and then education. Did the mass communications because I made my way through college. Oh, we're waiting on me. No, I knew you were out there, so I was like, "Well, just go ahead." My way through college working in radio. My first job was, as a
Now
disc
where'd you go to
jockey.
college at? Let's talk about yeah.
Sorry, went to college at University of the Cumberlands. It was Cumberland College back then, but now it's University of the Cumberlands, and, I was on their soccer team only because I could run, not because I'm a fabulous soccer player, but was on their inaugural soccer team, very first soccer team Cumberland College ever had. And what's neat about Cumberland is that I later discovered that my aunt, who ended up being the first female principal in Bell County, Kentucky, she also went to Cumberland College. And going through my genealogy, I have a great 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 uncle who also, before Cumberland was ever even a college, he taught calligraphy on the campus of Cumberland College. So I have educators in the family that had ties to Cumberland College, and I had no idea. So, which I thought was really neat once started researching the family ties or family genealogy. But went to Cumberland College, graduated, got a job working in a trio program, which is a program started by FDR and was taken over by Kennedy. But upward, I'm sure you probably heard of Upward Bound. There's another part of Upward Bound that's called Talent Search, and I was a talent search counselor for my first 2 years out of college. And I helped counsel kids for financial aid and career counseling, and just had the best time doing that in my home county where I grew up. Went from there and taught at Lincoln Memorial University, and they had a college school. So, it was a private college or private high school, and taught French and English there. Had a blast. Thought I had just the best kids in the world because it was a private school. Went from there, and that's where I met Bo Love, my husband. He was the coach. He coached the J. Frank White Academy baseball team and was a substitute. And it was the prom, day of prom. We chaperoned prom and had been in Bristol, and, on Delaney Street, he asked me to marry him. He stopped the car and asked me to marry him on Delaney Street, and then we went back to LMU to chaperone prom on that day, and we have had to chaperone prom so many years throughout our career, but we always say it's like the anniversary of it, whether it's the date or not, we just
Uh-huh.
always think it's the anniversary of our him proposing. But, and he saved change. He emptied out a change jar and, basically it was change that he had saved to buy my engagement ring. So we come from humble means,
Yeah.
but